Hi, welcome to Cycl'n Vancouver. My name is Steve. I'm a 57-year-old guy, 6'5", around 250 pounds, who enjoys hockey, UFC, lots of baked goods, and cycling around the city. If you're interested in seeing what Vancouver looks like from the back of a road bike ridden by some old dude, sit back and relax. This is Ride 215. Today is Saturday, January 14th, 2023. It looked like the sun was going to be out this afternoon, so I thought I'd better get out and take advantage of it. The temperature was a warm 12 degrees Celsius when I set out around 1:30, and we had a slight 8-kilometer wind out of the northeast. I am not used to such high temperatures lately and think I again overdressed. Whatever, better than being cold. For this ride, I'm going to circumnavigate the city using a mixture of bike lanes and quiet residential roads. This is a general route that I used to ride quite frequently, though I don't seem to ride it as often nowadays. That's probably got a lot to do with the fact that I've gotten to know the city a whole lot better since I started recording my rides. I went from a few regular routes to quite a few now. Here is a Strava route for this ride. As you may be aware, Vancouver considers itself to be a very bike-friendly city. I haven't ridden in many other cities of comparable size, but I have watched quite a number of car-centric critical videos on YouTube, so there does appear good reason to believe that Vancouver is a very bike-friendly city. I have been cycling around the city since 2014, and I can attest that year over year, the city's bike lane network has expanded. Of course, no one ever seems satisfied with how things are. Many cycling advocacy groups in the city frequently complain that the network is inadequate, while drivers get frustrated at the increasing number of roads cut off from vehicle use. We currently have a major fight over the future of the Stanley Park Drive bike lane. If you're not familiar with that, here's a quick history. Stanley Park Drive had 2 vehicle lanes running counterclockwise around the park. Anyone wanting to cycle the road did so together with traffic. In April 2020, as a reaction to COVID, the Parks Board closed Stanley Park to most vehicle traffic. That left the roadway essentially for cyclists to use, and did they ever. The roadway was quickly taken over by many cyclists and casual riders, and chaos ensued. I have several videos from back in the day showing some of that craziness. Over time, COVID waned, the seawall was reopened to cyclists, and most casual riders and scooters moved from the road to the seawall, where they wanted to be all along. And drivers wanted access back to the park road. The Parks Board decided to open the left lane for drivers and keep the right lane for cyclists. That compromise led to lots of traffic jams for drivers and quite unsafe conditions for cyclists, as now we have a mix of experienced and inexperienced cyclists, scooters and scooter tour groups, and the new phenomenon, the wrong way riders, all using the same lane. These groups travel at differing speeds and with differing expectations in a lane with often changing widths. And that lane is often covered with leaf and branch debris. The worst spot is the descent down from the big hill on the south side. There is nothing more frightening than descending down that hill in a confined lane and seeing some idiot biking or riding up the hill in the same lane. I've seen that twice myself. Sooner or later, someone is going to be badly hurt or killed. I used to ride the park quite frequently, but now I avoid it. Even though I regularly ride on roads with cars, I find the park too dangerous and only use it to access the Lionsgate Bridge. Over the past few months, there have been debates at the Parks Board about returning the road back to the pre-COVID arrangement. I am fully in support of that. There are commercial operations in the park dependent on car access, and the Park Board used to receive significant revenue from parking fees, which paid for a lot of park maintenance and other necessary expenses. Of course, the bike advocacy groups are opposed to this, and like so many such groups, have decided that threats and shouting down speakers is proper form in a democratic society. Ultimately, in my opinion, the original Park Drive setup is safer than the current setup. I doubt any of these bike advocacy groups actually care whether cyclists use the park road. Rather, I think it is clear that the groups are anti-car and want nothing less than motor vehicles eliminated from society. They won the Park Road fight for over a year, only to see the road open back up for some vehicle traffic. I doubt they will peacefully accept a full reopening. And as of the time of this ride in mid-January, it seems that the Parks Board is possibly backing away from its commitment to re-establish the pre-COVID setup. Typical. I think he should put down the GPS and drive with his eyes. That is one of the most selfish, irresponsible things I've ever seen a cyclist do. If you want to walk your dog, take it to the park. We have many. So I have titled this video as a comment on Vancouver's bike lane network. The network is comprised of 4 parts. The segregated lane, which is mainly found in the downtown core and along Beach Avenue. The shared bike pedestrian lane, the painted bike lane, and the bike route roadway. As you'll see in this ride, I encounter all of these forms. From a confidence and safety perspective, I expect most riders, particularly casual riders and commuters, prefer the segregated bike lanes. These lanes typically have a curb separating the lane from traffic. Of course, it does not stop pedestrians from treating them like additional sidewalk space, a frequent occurrence you see in Vancouver. The shared lanes suffer from uncertainty of rules or protocols. I tend to avoid these lanes since pedestrians tend to walk wherever they please, and I find myself weaving amongst them. That's not really a good situation. Thankfully, there are not many of these routes left. A more common bike lane is the painted line bike lane. Critics hate these for the obvious reason that a painted white line does nothing to protect a cyclist from a car. True that. But I have lots of experience with these types of bike lanes, and I'm generally quite fine with them. Of course, they require the user to pay attention and not be distracted chatting with others or chatting on the phone, etc. There are two main areas in this ride that employ painted line bike lanes: Southwest Marine Drive and Rupert Street. These are also the two busiest portions on this ride, and they require full attention. The Rupert Street portion especially. As I said, I'm quite comfortable using painted line bike lanes, but they are inherently dangerous, and while using them, I am very dependent on drivers seeing me and caring about my health and safety.
descriptive like an adjective. I got a vendetta against people who patented being negative when you should be getting after it. I got facts over tracks, this and that. Spitting slow, spitting fast, I could roast, I could gas. Think I'm okay at last, but I don't know if that can erase all the past. And the pettiness, a reflection of the emptiness. Hilarious, you think you're worth my time, you're delirious. Mysterious, because you hide behind a fake exterior. Inferior, you know I'll always be a bit superior. Get off of me, this ain't no humble brag. I want you to hear words, you can say them back. I want you to feel free from the chains that last, and to believe in what you got, it was built to last, yeah.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
Gonna learn the consequence of being incompetent. Mental health is confidence, dreams into modestness. I'm not here to save the day, that's for you to take away. I could play a million mind games, but instead I say something not illogical, something that is topical. Rub it on and watch it go, make yourself unstoppable. Dreams are irresponsible, but they're always possible. If you just believe, you could be so remarkable.
Thoughts in my head, a collage and they spread. I'll be great one day, going off of my meds. No, I'm not giving up, no, I'm not giving in. I will make it to the top, taking off in the wind. I gotta make it, I'm saving every day to taste it. I'm patient, but my mind, it can hardly take it. I'm chasing a dream that I've had for several ages. A vacant, modern kingdom for the taking.
Now that I've been put through, I never got anyone's help. I had to do it all myself.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement. I don't ever slow up, no I don't take sh**. I got no love for the fakeness. If you wanna play tough and wanna hate this, I'll always show up and make a statement.
I don't ever slow up, no I don't take shit. I got no love for the
Finally, you may also notice from time to time a painted bike on a roadway. They appear quite frequently in this ride. I don't know what they mean. I doubt any driver does either. I think it means that this is a bike route. Again, I don't know what that means. Perhaps it's there to remind drivers that the roadway is for shared use. But all roadways other than highways are shared use, so I don't know what the painted bike adds. I am, however, cynical enough to think that it is nothing more than a cheap way for the city to add mileage to its bike network without having to actually build something or take space away from drivers. You know, paint a bike on the road, post a sign designating it a bike route, and then claiming to have increased the overall size of the cycling network. Government loves stuff like that. Perhaps somebody actually knows what the symbol means. If so, please let me know. When I ride down Rupert Street Hill, I am constantly on edge. I try to leave gaps next to me in case of evasive maneuvers. Lots of drivers make the right turn at the light, and I'm always quite prepared for that. I'm glad that guy at least signaled, even if it was late. He clearly knew I was coming and hesitated before moving to the right to make the turn. That turned out to be a nice safe ride. I got in 55 kilometers and 526 meters of climbing in just under 3 hours. Now it's time to shower and then sleep.